Not that it can't happen, but I think the probability has shifted, especially with some of the economic data that we're starting to see come through.
So I think it's really important to just underscore for folks the approach you guys use there at New Harbor right now, because I think it is really paying off in spades so far this year. Where, guys, we've had a relationship, for about 15 years now, and much of that relationship, we try to emphasize for folks the prudence of risk management in a portfolio. And one of the expertises that you guys have there at New Harbor is using options, defensively as insurance on the portfolio, either as a means to protect against downside risk, or to try to get some income off of some of your larger positions. And I know that back in the pre-2022 period, when the markets were just going up and up and up, you'd have some people say, guys, why are you putting some drag on the portfolio with this insurance? It's just so easy to make money, right? Just take off the insurance and ride this whole thing, right? And you stuck to your guns. Obviously, that paid out really well in 2022. But in this year, where volatility is so much higher, you have so many more opportunities for those hedges to pay off. And John, you just did a good job of sort of walking through on both ends of that, where on the downside, you had multiple downside hedges where you were able to protect against the downside risk as the markets, dropped way below the Bollinger Bands there. And then now that they're getting perhaps somewhat overextended to the upside, you're now able to, stay in those positions, but earn some extra income off of them. And, if that volatility continues to play out, you will be both minimizing your downside risk and increasing your return with the covered calls. So it's an approach that I think most regular retail investors have not practiced themselves, and some might not, be aware of. So I wanted to take a moment just to reiterate that, because it is a way to reduce risk and potentially goose return, especially in markets like this one. So anything you want to say about that, John?
No, I think you hit it on the head, Adam. And our key is discretion. It's not always the right thing to do. It's having a system to kind of guide you as to the probabilities as to when that is a prudent thing to do. And nothing is perfect. Anybody that thinks any system's perfect is just naive and fooling themselves. I'll just contrast that with there's been a proliferation of option-based ETFs out there, buffered ETFs, things like that. And they can be very suitable things for folks that want to mitigate risk, but they're not what many people think they are, in that because they're just kind of always hedged, always doing these strategies. Oftentimes it's missing the benefit that can be achieved by being more tactical as to when and where to use these option hedges. It's a blunter instrument that can solve certain problems, but these things didn't discretionarily remove the hedges on this recent bounce lower. I did a video on our channel on these ETFs just to educate people on them. Again, they can be a very suitable thing for many investors, but they're oftentimes surprised that they don't offer the same kind of protection that they think they do, mostly because investors forget that it's a promise made over a defined time period, and the path along the way can be vastly different than what seems to be advertised on the surface.
Okay. All right.